Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this was likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills! It's not outside! It's not outside!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Told me now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we tripping, they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping, we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Coast to Coast podcast. I am your co-host, Peon716 here, always is joined by the one, the only Whittle 2K here on June 18th. We are almost getting close to the end of June, Whittle. And then, once we just crowned a Stanley Cup champion last night, we'll crown an NBA champion, like, whoever in the next few days. I'm not carrying any bitterness or anything. But once we get through that, when we get through free agency of those sports, then, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Bills football again. We're getting a little closer. Feels a ways away now. This is more of the slower time of year, but glad you all could join us on this Wednesday. Whittle, how you doing today?
I'm amazing, man. We're going through a little heat wave right now. It's like wow, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Was at work today.
Jersey heat can hit. For all those out there that don't think, trust me, New Jersey humidity is real. It's a real thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was. Today was a rough day. Today was a rough day. I had a lot of water, but still, like it was hot, man. It was hot.
Yeah.
Yep. Humid for sure.
Yep.
Very humid.
Say hello to our friend Dog. Yeah, if he's down there in Philly, he knows that. So it gets hot there too. I'm not even going to tell you what it's like here in California. 80, no humidity.
Is it bad?
Nice and cold.
Oh,
no, it's beautiful. It's perfect. Yeah. What do you think we pay for around here, Whittle?
When you going back to Florida again?
Not for a while.
Yeah, you need to get back into that heat, man.
I still got mosquito bites all over me for that. Are you kidding me? That was unbelievable.
Jesus.
Yeah, they just attack you like crazy, man. It's just no. Hopefully in the winter time this time. Maybe who knows? Maybe in February of next year when the Bills hopefully are playing in California. But a nice little segue there. So
yeah, that would be
absolutely.
Awesome. Definitely would be awesome.
Yep.
So we'll get started today. Very close to training camp, but before we get into current Bills things, let's talk about a former Buffalo Bill who is celebrating a birthday today. I was about to say Thurman Thomas. Bruce Smith.
Man.
Bruce Smith is celebrating his birthday today. Let me look it up. I gotta see when. Yeah, okay. Bruce Smith See, that would make him
He
62?
is
62.
62
Born in
today. Yeah.
63.
Wow,
Okay.
I
All
feel
right. So,
old.
yeah, Bruce Smith,
I'm starting to feel
62
old now
years
that Bruce
old.
Smith is in his 60s now. That hits a little
Yeah.
different now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Bruce
Yep.
Smith, 66 years old, 62. Jesus,
Hmm.
62 years old today, or 62 years young, whichever way you want to say it. It is what it
Hmm.
is. But happy birthday to Bruce Smith. Um, One of my favorite Bruce Smith uh, like images is his front lawn, where he has like all of the tombstones for each quarterback that he sacked in his
Hmm.
career.
Amazing.
I thought,
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty
He
awesome. So,
he had a even 200 sacks in his illustrious career. Bruce Smith is the first jersey I owned, an official Bills jersey I ever bought when I was 14, 15 years old. So he's always been
mhm,
one of my, he probably is, I would say, if you had to ask me, Whittle, he's my favorite Bill of all time. Like he's the one for me that I just loved. I mean, what's amazing about him, Whittle, is he's on the all 80s and all 90s Hall of Fame team. He's on both years. I mean, that shows you how long and illustrious his career really was. And 200 sacks is amazing. And as a 3-4 D end, right? Where
right,
if he was
right.
a 4-3 D end, there's no telling how many sacks he could have racked up. He could have
That's
had
true.
240 or
Yeah,
250. So, but yeah, so he was definitely, for those that are not old enough to remember and have heard the stories, yeah, he was that special. And he looks for 62, he looks better. He looks fantastic. So he's aging gracefully. So happy birthday to Bruce.
absolutely. And we do have a charity event. Want to remind you guys, it's a charity event on Sunday. I
Hmm.
think it's a bocce ball tournament. I have no
Hmm.
idea what that is, but I'm going to be there. And
Okay.
um, yeah, and I think Matt is gonna pop on. He's gonna plug. He's gonna put all of the necessary information out there.
Hmm.
So when he gets on here, we'll plug him in and get going. But
Yep.
while we
Yep.
wait, the NFL's been a little busy. Uh,
Yep.
Jair Alexander has a team.
Hmm.
Um, he signed with the Baltimore Ravens today to go and help that team. Bolster their secondary. They had some questions at boundary corner.
Hmm.
And Jair is one of the better corners in the league. Two-time second team All Pro. He goes over to the Ravens after being released by the Green Bay Packers. Um, Jair also, was a teammate of Lamar Jackson at Louisville. So
Mm.
Lamar went and spoke to the media, and he said, he's telling Eric the EDC, Eric the Contra,
Hmm.
the Ravens GM, go get him,
Yep.
go get my guy, go get him. And he did just that. He went and got Jair. Jair signs for 1 year, $6 million. I mean, those are that was the release. That was the press release, but we all know that the numbers are going to look a little different once it's broken
Yep.
down into the minutia of what's guaranteed, what's incentive based, et cetera, et cetera. But Jair Alexander signs with the Baltimore Ravens. The rich keep getting richer.
Hmm. They sure
Um,
do.
Damon
Was
Arnett.
that a guy? Was that a guy you wanted the Bills? We didn't really get into this last week. Were you
No,
a
no. I mean, listen. I'm team play the young guys, man. I
yeah?
mean, Jair's a really good player, and
Hmm.
if we didn't draft if we didn't draft three corners in the draft, I would say yeah, go get him. But I mean, we brought back
Hmm.
Trey, brought back Dane. We still already have Ingram and Benford, and then you draft three other guys. You still got Cam Lewis. So I mean, the
Yeah.
safety room. I mean, the corner room at this point is pretty full. So signing Jair, you know, just kind of takes
Unless,
away from somebody
yeah.
else's snaps.
And do you feel with Trey that kind of took care of that? need in terms of having a veteran presence. Like if we didn't have Trey, maybe we feel different, but it would almost be you'd rather just go with some other young guys at that position now.
No, well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if we didn't have Trey, I still like we drafted three corners. I would
Yeah.
still want the young guys to play, and if if in a pinch you got to start Dane Jackson, it is what it is. You start Dane Jackson.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I shudder at the thought,
Dane
but
is,
yeah.
in spots, in spots. Dane Jackson has played very well for us.
That's
Um,
true.
has it always been, he hasn't always been the greatest, but in spots he's definitely played very, very, very well. So
Hmm.
shout out to him, man. Shout out to oh wait a minute, hold on. We missing something? Yes, we are. Um yeah, so shout out to him, man. Let's get that on. Okay, we're good to go now. So where we at? All right. So Dane Jackson
Hmm.
potentially might be playing at some point, and we're fine with that. We also have three young guys. I'm cool. Like I think the Bills. I think the Bills roster is
Pretty.
pretty solid, man. Like this is the
Hmm.
happy. I mean, this is the uh, most. I would say the most complete roster I think they've had since Josh has been on the team. I'm good. I'm good with where we're at. I'm good with who we have. So we'll go into the season with whoever makes the team through minicamp. Um,
Yep, I agree.
another guy that got signed. I think his name is Damon Arnett. Was
Hmm.
signed from the XFL. He was drafted by the Raiders, and I can't remember the team that signed him though. I saw it earlier, and I
I
can't
think it
remember. So
was Texans,
anybody in
right?
the
Was it
chat?
Houston? I think it was Houston,
Yes,
if
yes,
I remember
yes.
correctly. Yeah.
Houston. Yeah, yep. See, there you go, man. You know what I mean? That was a nice little cleanup right there, man. I was
Hey,
on third.
yeah.
I was on
It's
third.
okay.
Put solid
Yeah.
contact on it. Nice little loop into the outfield, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it was like a
walking
check.
in.
It was
I
it
appreciate
was
that.
my it was my check swing bloop single right over the shortstop's head, right? You know what I mean?
Hey,
So,
we'll take it. We'll take it.
yep.
Um, yeah, yo. We're all right. So yeah, the one guy who was supposed to be moved at this point was supposed to be traded. Probably should have been released at this point. Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is not. Uh, hasn't. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting at home waiting for the Miami Dolphins to figure this out. This
Hmm.
is bad. In my
No,
opinion, I think it's pretty bad. I would not want to be in that situation.
no.
I know they've had conversations. Miami Dolphins have had conversations with Russell Douglas. Um, I know the Pittsburgh Steelers, who recently signed Aaron Rodgers, uh, are having conversations with have had conversations with Amari Cooper. But I don't know where any of that stuff is going. Another former Bill plays for them right now. Robert Woods is there in Pittsburgh, and we played them. We played them, I think, week 13, I believe it is. So
13 or 14. Yeah. Hmm. I think
yeah,
it's after
we
the
played them
Houston
week
game, if I
13, and then
remember.
we played. Yeah, week
Hmm.
14, we got the Bengals.
Hmm.
No,
That's still
Tom, I'm sorry. Russell Douglas should not still be a Bill. His play,
no. Yeah.
no, his play definitely deteriorated last year. The
Hmm.
numbers bear that out. So you know,
And
so
considering
good
who we
luck to him now.
drafted, yeah, and
Right.
considering the
Right.
great picks we made, I think it was
Yeah.
time. Uh, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've upgraded the level of athleticism on the roster at that spot. All right. Well, training camp schedule. Training camp schedule is out. I'm gonna try to pull it up really quickly so I can read off some of these dates. Buffalo training camp. There we go. If I can, yep, here we go. All right, so the dates. Wednesday, July 23rd, and all of these start times except for two are at 9:45 a.m. So Wednesday through Wednesday, July 23rd through Thursday, July 31st. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're off Saturday. Then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they're off Wednesday, and then Thursday are all open to the public. Um, yeah, open to the public. Starts at 9:45, and those are the dates, and it's going to be at St. John Fisher. Um,
Hmm.
there we go.
There we
Friday,
go.
August 1st is the blue and red game. So it's like the scrimmage.
Hmm.
That's going to be at 5:30, and that's going to be at Highmark. It's not at St. John Fisher. Sunday, August 3rd, 11:15 a.m. is another training camp day back at St. John's Fisher. It will be St. John Fisher. It will be at 11:15 a.m. And then August 4th is closed to the public, but they'll be there. Then you got Wednesday and Thursday are the last 2 days. So
Hmm.
um, I'm not sure which days, but it's definitely going to be in July. Probably I'll probably do the Friday, July 25th through
Okay.
Sunday, July 27th. I'll probably do
I'm
those.
so
Um,
jealous. Yeah.
yeah, I probably those will probably be the dates that I do. I would love to go to the. I'm thinking I might take my son to the red and blue game, man. I may do that. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, I
Uh,
should. Yeah, that'd be nice.
he yeah, he wants to go. I'm definitely going to take him to the Jets Bills game this year. I'm definitely gonna have to get him a ticket.
Excellent.
So, um, so
Excellent.
all you people out there that are gonna beat me up when you see me, just wait until a different game. I'm gonna have my son with me at the Jets game.
That's
Okay,
right. That's right.
let
Yeah.
me let me give me a pass. Give me a pass on that day, please.
Whittle son,
Um,
yeah, Whittle son gives them 100% pass, all right?
yeah, let me get a pass that day, please. I appreciate
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so training camp. I'm looking to see these young guys. Uh, Learn, right? I expect the young guys on defense to make mistakes. I expect them to pick up the defense. What I want to see is a steady progression of play speed. I'm expecting everybody to start off slow because you're learning, you're digesting the playbook. But as training camp continues, I would hope to see these reps look a little faster from these guys on defense.
Hmm.
Three guys on defense, I'm paying very, very close attention to. Very close attention to because I think they're going to be pivotal for this season. Um, Number one is I'm going to put these two together: Maxwell Harrison and Trey White.
Hmm.
I need to see what Trey White looks like. Like I'm what they're saying is Trey White looks good. Cool. I gotta see what Kingsley Jonathan. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I don't blame him.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him.
yep.
My fault. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
blame him. Kingsley Jonathan signs with the Jets. There was no way he was getting on this roster, and that's a good fit for him. They're gonna run a wide nine.
hmm.
Actually, no, they might not run a wide nine with Aaron and Glenn, but he will get an opportunity. And they do need
Hmm.
edge help over there. They do need defensive line help. So good
Hmm.
for him.
Yeah.
He gets an opportunity to play. He really has a good opportunity to make that roster for at the very least as a depth fourth or fifth defensive end who will play special teams and will get some opportunities to play in selected situations for pass rush. So shout out to Kingsley Jonathan. Sorry it didn't
Yep.
work out here, but it is what
Yep.
it is, man. This is the
Absolutely.
business. Well, okay. Yeah, it threw me off a little bit with that. All right, and then on So the other guys I wanna take a look at, and I'm gonna put them together as well. So at the safety position, it would be Cole Bishop and Derek Forrester. I think it's Derek
Hmm.
Forrester.
Darren Forster.
I want to
Hmm.
see. I want to see those two guys show that they understand what that position is required. Like I want to see them make plays. I want to see them show that they have a good grasp on what it takes to play safety for the Buffalo Bills because the safety position is extremely important to this defense. So I need those guys to get in there and digest the playbook and make some plays on the field in training camp that that they can build on leading into preseason. I really want those two guys to pick it up because not that I don't think DeMar Hamlin or Taylor Rapp are important. I just think the level of athleticism that those two guys have, like their level of physical athleticism,
Hmm.
is higher than DeMar
Taylor Rapp.
and Taylor Rapp. But
Hmm.
so when you have that, once you marry that up with the experience, the reps, the understanding of the defense, you know, you're gonna have guys that can come in that can get on the field and make plays. So looking forward to that. Offensively, I need to see one more. Joe Andreessen.
Hmm.
Joe Andreessen. Joe Andreessen, Joe Andreessen, Joe Andreessen.
Hmm.
Backup Mike, we need that. Like I remember when we brought Buffalo when we brought Joe Andreessen in last year. I I always thought he could play. I always thought he could play. Um, and I watched some of his stuff from before his senior year or whatever, and I was like, yeah, this kid can play. Walks on, get walks on with the does the tryout after the draft or whatever with the Bills. They had the open tryout. Gets a training camp spot. Makes a training camp team. Gets through that. Gets on to preseason, has that monster game against the Steelers in the preseason where I think, was it the Steelers? I think it was the Steelers, where he had like 14 tackles or something like that. Um, so, yeah, he ends up making a 53, plays, selectively, on the defense, but he played a bunch, got a bunch of reps on special teams. We love that. We want to see him take the next step. Um, Matt Milano's not getting any younger. Terrell Bernard. Uh, he's a smaller guy, a middle linebacker, so he's constantly making plays. He's exposing his body to a lot of punishment. It
Hmm.
leads to him being injured sometimes. We need a guy we can depend on to come in, spell him when needed, not only make tackles, but make plays in coverage. And some of the things coming out of minicamp so far were that Joe Andreessen's coverage looks a lot better. So,
Yep,
you know.
absolutely. Wow. You know what?
I don't know.
From Steve,
But
from your lips to the football god's ears, I hope this is right.
yeah,
I'll just say that I sure hope we have a Cooper DeJean in Cole Bishop. I
I
mean,
don't
I'm
know.
not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not co-sign. I can't co-sign that based on what I saw from those two players in college.
Hmm.
Um, Cooper DeJean has a feel for playing anywhere in the secondary. Like he can play outside, he can play the slot, he can play safety. He just has a natural feel. Whereas Cole Bishop, very good in the box, very good close to the line of scrimmage, but out in space, defending the deep third, deep half, not really his thing. He did look better towards the end of the year last year, 100%, but we got to see him build on that. Like that's my biggest thing is like we still have not fully found the Micah Hyde replacement. I'd like
Hmm.
it to be one of these guys. So,
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so offensively, three guys I'm looking at. Uh I'm gonna put it's definitely Josh Allen.
Yep.
but I need to see Josh Allen's number one because I need to see that deep ball improvement, ball placement. Those
Oh.
are things that have to consistently get better for him. Every year, I'm probably going to be saying the same thing
Hmm.
where he's concerned. But Joshua Palmer, and Elijah Moore, I'd love to see their chemistry with Josh kind of get figured out and developed. That would be nice for them to work on that
Hmm.
and get that going. Um,
Hmm.
Dalton Kincaid, a lot was made of Dalton Kincaid being hurt last year and being more physical and all these different things. Well, let's see it. I'd like to see it. And the
Yep.
third guy would be not really a third guy, but I really want to see what the backup offensive line looks like. Um, we have two guys coming up on contract, Connor McGovern and David Edwards. So that'd be the center and the left guard. Uh, somebody's gonna get paid, you know,
Hmm.
out of those two guys, and James Cook. I mean, somebody's getting paid. But in the event that
Yep.
we have to replace somebody from the offensive line or both guys from the offensive line, I need to see what Van Perrin Granger looks like. Uh, I need to see
Hmm.
where Tylen Grable is. Tylen Grable, basically the same size as David Edwards, like height, weight, all of that stuff. So, um, I don't know where they go. Are they comfortable with saying Conor McGovern, you cost too much, or does Conor McGovern's
Hmm.
play price him out of Buffalo, and then we have
Yeah.
to figure out: are we going with, are we going with VPG or are we going with Alec Anderson, who's been the first lineman off the bench for the last couple of years, and let Tyler Grable slide in that left guard. That's
Hmm.
another question as well. Is he
Yep.
comfortable with that? Are they comfortable with doing that? So
I mean, what a looking
those are the
looking even 2 years out between Osiris Torrance and Connor McGovern. Do you
right,
believe one of
right.
these two will be ex Buffalo Bill in 2 years, or do you feel confident we could keep both? That's going to be a tough ask for Brandon Bean, considering all the other young talent we have in this roster coming up to keep It's hard to keep everybody, right? Even with the Bills being very aggressive and all in mode. It's going to be a tough
Mhm.
call for Brandon Bean. We have good depth at both positions. I mean, we did draft Cedric, for a reason from Georgia. So we'll have to see how he progresses this year. But do you really want to wait and see with Connor McGovern as the market just goes up in the offseason next year, or would you rather get that done as a training camp signing, where maybe you could
Uh,
find that sweet spot like we did with Benford and some others, try to save a little money on the cap? That's going to be the tough call Beans has to make here.
yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know that we keep David Edwards. I mean, if there's like he's the weakest link on the offensive line. Not that that's a bad thing because I think we've got one of the best offensive lines in football. But
Hmm.
I'm not sure what his price tag is going to be. Interior offensive line help is definitely needed in the league. I mean, you saw
Hmm.
Robert Hunt get what 20 million a year from the
Hmm.
Panthers,
Yeah.
going from Miami to the Panthers. So
Yep.
um,
Yeah. These guys are getting
I know they're
paid,
going to
man.
try to get out in front of this Osiris Torrance
Hmm.
deal. I just don't know. Both tackles are paid. I don't know that they pay the center and they pay the right guard. I think two of those guys out of the three interior guys are going to be swapped out. And I
Hmm.
don't think they're letting Torrance. I don't think they're going to want to let Torrance out of there. So,
No.
I think Torrance is probably the priority. Um, McGovern's been very good though, so
He
I don't
really
know.
has.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
This is gonna be a
And
big
he's
year.
he's
Offensive line
tight
numbers.
and
This is gonna be a big year.
he's tight with the team. He's tight with Josh. He has those pizza parties for the
Pizza
team.
night. Yeah.
I know it sounds like just a weird little thing, but those things matter, in terms of the continuity and the culture of this team. So it's going to be I'll tell you, Brandon Bean, that's going to be one of his toughest calls that probably won't get the national attention or even the attention in the Bills fan base that it probably should. So we'll just have to see how that all works out as the season unfolds. But I do
Yeah.
expect one of those. I expect a contract extension around training camp. Now, who that is it Jimbo Cook? Is it Connor McGovern? Right? I mean, will James Cook be offered a contract at that time too? I mean, it's one of those. One of those two players is going to get offered a contract, in my personal feeling. I think that's Brandon Beane's ammo. I think they have numbers in mind, and I think they're going to make the offer. Whether they accept it, that's a whole nother story.
Um. So for me, I think trust. Listen, see the shirt, man, and being we trust. I
Hmm.
I'm saying lean on the draft picks, man.
Hmm.
Lean on the draft picks. You're paying your quarterback. You paying Shakir. Um, you're paying Josh Palmer. I think this will probably be Curtis Samuel's last year with the team.
Hmm.
Knox's deal is going to have to, they're going to have to do something with Knox's deal. Kincaid's going to be up for a contract before you know it. Um, I don't know, bro. I'm saying
Hmm.
lean on the guys.
Well,
Lean
you
on
have
the
to,
guys
yeah.
to be honest.
And you know what? You have to have your core, right? And the Bills have to identify the right core players. Deion Dawkins, for
Yeah,
example, Spencer Brown. Like, look at the world champion Philadelphia Eagles, right? They've lost some talent this offseason, right? But they still have the core. They're replacing those players with younger players that Howie Roseman drafted. There's going to be growing pains there, right? They
right.
they lost Mikael Becton as an example. He had a big year. So it's just gonna it's all about whether the GM can sign the right core guys and you get the right picks in there to work with that core. So that's the tough part. You don't, but I think the way Brandon Bean operates, and I'm glad he does, he has that number in mind. He's going to stick to it, and I think that's what they're going to do. And the Bills get the right players that like to be here. Maybe someone will say, okay, maybe I will take a little bit less because I'm happy here. Maybe McGovern is that kind of guy. We're going to find out very very soon on what his. And again, I'll never begrudge a player for, hey, if it's easy to think, oh, I can leave millions and millions of dollars on the table. Not as
Mhm.
easy when it's your decision, right? Little, I mean,
Right.
as you know, as much as of a loyal guy I am, I'm not sure if I could leave millions of dollars on the table. So that's yeah, it's very very difficult to do.
100%. I don't know. I just I don't envy Brandon Bean's job. I mean I do, but not really. Because like these are tough decisions that you have to make, especially when you see how well the team
Hmm.
worked together over the last season. It's like some of these guys are not gonna be here after this season. And in 2 years from now, even more guys. But I did
Yep.
see something that I think you can look at and say, this is on One Bills Drive. So I want to make sure they get their credit. Oh, we lost Beyond. All right, well, I guess it'll be wait. Okay.
Whittle, did you just get kicked out of here,
Did I?
or is that just me? That is, I'm the one that got kicked
I
out of
think it
here.
might have been you. I don't,
Probably.
I was here the whole time.
Oh, I was replying to Big Papa Bill here in our group chat, and I was just typing away, and I just got kicked right out. So, but I'm glad to be back.
Oh,
So
wow.
who knows what's going on? So Gremlins living
Okay.
on the.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so I kind of feel like Moore and Samuel kind of do similar stuff with Elijah Moore being a better receiver. I kind of feel like you can just give Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel's money and keep him here. I
Hmm.
mean, I think you have to pay him a little more, but um, I would be totally fine with that. Not to mention AJ Epinesa is another guy. But
Hmm.
what I wanted to say that that is I think is pretty cool. The Bills last year had 13 players on their first or second year in the league.
Hmm.
This year the number went up to 19. That was via One Bills Drive. They brought that up.
Wow.
So like I think that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 53 guys on a roster, 19, and this is
Hmm.
not including undrafted guys. So
Hmm.
um if you have 19, that's a little over. A little under half. Well, not a little under, but it's a little over a third of what you know of what you're looking at as far as
Yep.
the roster is concerned, right?
Yeah, that's a
So
very high number.
um, I think that's awesome. So that's why I'm saying I kind of feel like we just might want to lean a little bit on the draft picks and just say thank you
Hmm.
guys for your services, but we drafted these young guys for a reason, and
Yep.
you know use these comp picks to replenish. As these
Yep.
guys move on, use the comp picks to replenish guys. So
Yep. Absolutely. We got, yeah. And I, listen, I'm pretty bullish on Moore too. And listen,
yeah,
Sanders is a guy that listen,
you
he
mean
seemed, he,
Samuel?
Samuel, sorry, I got
Yeah,
the Samuel showed some more towards the end of the year last year. We know he had that, what do you have, a toe injury last year, if I remember correctly?
yeah, turf
So
toe.
turf toe, and that could linger for a while. So I'm still curious to see what he could bring to the table. So I'm not going to completely dismiss Sam yet, but I do agree with Steve and about more and the excitement of it. But I'm not writing off Curtis Samuel just yet. But I just think the Bills have such pleasant problems here with their wide receiver room. Yeah, it's funny. A friend of mine I talked to, he's not a Bills fan. We were talking about the Bills receiving room recently, and he likes the room, but I guess his big thing is, what do you do on 3rd and 5? Like, who's the guy that's going to get the ball, right? You know how
Right.
he's a Cowboy guy, so he's not a Cowboy homer. He's a very objective fan, but they have CD, you have your alpha number one receivers. Does that concern you at all in the big games, like the fact that Bills have all these guys, or do you think it's more of a benefit that the defense can't focus on one of these receivers or even the tight ends? And really, and you got to also worry about big number 17 under center, right? Going on like a 3rd and 5. Do you think that is okay, or do you think it's better to have that got number one that you can absolutely trust all the time in that situation as the games get bigger?
Uh,
I would say,
so I'm looking up. Hold on, give me 1 second, because that's a really
yeah,
good question.
yeah,
Third down conversion rate in the NFL. Let's see. Last year Buffalo was 7. So,
7,
um,
very good.
yeah, last year Buffalo was 7th in the league, 44%, a little over 44%. So I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I think we're
Yeah,
fine. And I'll bring that up like last year. I think if you look at last year's pass catchers compared to this year's pass catchers, we're better now, right?
yes,
Like Matt
yes,
Collins was cool, but I think Joshua Palmer's a better receiver, right?
yes, yes.
Of course, we have last year that
I think we have a lot of continuity
yeah, like we brought
on the wide
basically a lot
receiver
of
side of the
guys
ball.
back. Um, but like
15,
adding Elijah Moore
yep.
gives you another guy, right?
Hmm.
So
Yep.
I'm good with that. But without further ado, we got Matt here. We're gonna bring him up. He's gonna talk a little bit about the charity event coming up, and we will bring Matt up right after we take care of some advertising stuff. Right? Hold on, guys. Be right
You
back.
got it.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, one half of those beautiful, sexy voices you just heard was the voice of our guest here, Matt Tiger. How you doing, Matt?
So
Not
Matt,
bad, Widow. How are you guys? How are you guys tonight?
good, doing great.
Good.
I'm okay. I don't like Florida having nice things, but
Yeah, no.
ever since the coach of the Oilers said what he said about the Bills, like I just kind of want him to fail, and
Yeah,
through proxy, the Oilers have to fail for him to fail. So you
you,
know,
you
I
know,
get it.
Whittle, Whittle.
I get it. But
One thing I say about the Florida Panthers, you can use it for their Dolphin fans. See, they're so embarrassed to call themselves Miami. They had to call themselves Florida, right? They don't want to be associated with
mm,
with Miami. So just use
wow,
that as your
yeah,
disposal going forward. So there you go. And for all these Dolphin fans taking victory laps.
and for anybody that watches us on Saturday mornings, Brian, you know how I feel about Brad Marchand. So
Oh, that's gonna
we'll
be.
we'll
We're
leave
gonna
that to
spice that up on
Saturday.
Saturday morning. Yes, we are.
Yes, absolutely. But this Sunday we actually have a charity event going on. It's the Student Body Right Harrison Phillips Beach Bocce Ball Tournament at Soleil. Come join us. We'll be there a little bit early. We are going to be having some guests on. Whittle, I heard you're going to be there as well. You said you're driving up
oh
Saturday,
yeah,
and
yeah.
perfect,
Awesome.
awesome. So that'll be a lot of fun. I know Harrison Phillips is going to be there. There's going to be a couple other Bills there. So definitely stop on down. $40 for the for all you can eat, all you can drink. Come and enjoy yourself, and it's a great time.
Nice.
40
So
bucks, man. That's not a bad deal.
no, and it usually
Yeah.
goes until like 6, 7 o'clock until things are done. So you get there 11 noon, and the $40 goes to charity, goes to it goes to tipping your servers, things like that. So and there's a lot of door prizes. There's a lot of silent auction stuff there. Whether it be stuff from Sons of Erie, signed stuff from Harrison Phillips, stuff from Jim Kelly, stuff from other Bills players, things like that. So it's a lot of fun. Fifth year they're doing it, and it is the 60th anniversary for Iliad Apollo. So definitely come celebrate both those
Awesome.
things.
It's fantastic.
I'm gonna give me some wings finally.
There you
Every
Yes,
go.
time I've been to
yes.
Buffalo over the
You guys
last
are killing
year,
me.
I have not been able to get to a actual wing spot and eat wings. Eaten I've only really had wings at like the tailgates. That's it. Like every time I set out to go to one of the places, I never actually get there. So, we're gonna
Well,
change that
definitely a shout out to Trainwreck and Maniac doing their wing reviews. So definitely give them a follow because it's a good channel for to find the best wings in Buffalo. So
Mhm.
definitely give them a shout out and the great time with them. Guys, I want to thank you for having me on for a couple of seconds here just to kind of talk about Sunday. It is June 22nd, and we'll be live all day. Do will be live. I'm sure Whittle, you'll be live with me. Student will be live with me. I don't think he has a team this year, so he's going to be live with me most of the day. For anything else, Brian, I'll see you on Saturday morning. I
Bright
am
and
a little
early.
tired. I am a little tired tonight because I've been working nonstop with the new job.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys very much. And as always, I enjoy the content and go Bills.
Go
Go
Bills, Matt.
Bills.
Thank you. And Whittle, you have your first recommendation here. Go to Gabriel's Gate on Allen Street. I will second that. That is an excellent,
I
excellent
heard
choice.
somebody. That's not the first time
Yep.
I've heard about that place.
Hmm.
Now listen,
Yes.
I got a couple of contacts up
Hmm.
there in Buffalo. Like you guys better not leave me hanging this weekend, man. I'll be up there, so clear some time in your schedule, guys. Please.
Yep.
I'm there for a good time, not a long time.
Yep.
9/11 best wings in
That
Buffalo.
that's
Okay.
another good call too. That's another good
All
call
right.
as well. So there's a lot of you can't go wrong choices in Buffalo, but
I'm
Gabriel's
about to
Gate
get a
won
few.
it.
I'm about to get a couple of to-go plates, man,
Yep, but
for the
definitely
ride
I will
back.
defer. I'll defer to some of the more seasoned veterans up there for the best calls. You know the ones in
Yeah.
our spaces and others that will probably give you the best advice. So that and
Yeah,
here in
for
our
sure,
chat.
for sure.
So, but yeah, I'm jealous. I wish I could get there this weekend. That should be a great time, Whittle.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, but let's keep it moving, man. So, schedule predictions. Now that the rosters are kind of taking shape, teams are
Hmm.
you know kind of out and about and kind of relaxing for the next few weeks before training camp starts. Now you're starting to see some of these schedule predictions. Have you seen any schedule predictions floating around, like social media, anything like that?
Not really something too concrete. I mean, I did read an article. I mean, not schedule related, but a guy from SI.com rated us the number one offense in 2025. Gennaro Felice said
Wow,
our continuity,
wow.
he said, is a big reason. We have 15 of our top 16 guys with the most snaps coming back, and he just really loves what we're doing there. So he thinks we'll be the number one offense in 2025. So, but that was just one thing I saw. As far as predictions go, I haven't really seen any just yet. Um, but what are you seeing so far? Have you noticed any consistency, wildness on
Yeah,
predictions, or?
a lot of 13-4, 14-3, stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
so breaking down the schedule, I think what most people like tend to point out is the Bills have 9 home games, 8 road games, and out of the 8 road games, out of the 9 home games, obviously you have your division opponents, but you also get Baltimore and Buffalo. You get Kansas
Hmm.
City and Buffalo. You get Tampa Bay and Buffalo. You get Philadelphia and Buffalo. You get Cincinnati and Buffalo. So that's
Hmm.
was that five? That was that 5 opponents, 5 of your tougher opponents. I think the only 2 opponents that I would look at and say like, no disrespect to any other team on our schedule, but 2 of our tougher road opponents are Houston and Pittsburgh. And
Yep.
Houston is the furthest west the Bills travel all season, unless,
Hmm.
you know,
Yep.
playoffs takes us
I
out west
think,
for some reason.
yeah, I think Houston's going to be our maybe our arguably one of our toughest opponents all season. To give you a little
They got a
preview
lot
to
of
what I think of the
turnover in that
season.
offensive line. They got a lot of
Well,
turnover in that O line. So we'll see.
they do.
We'll see.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that. But I guess it's just a far cry from this time last year when we had
Oh
people,
yeah.
saying we're going to win 8 games, 9 games, we're falling off the map. We had some guys in WFAN saying we're going to win 5 games, we're going to finish last in the division. We were all, I mean, the sky was falling all over the place. This year it feels like even a lot of our haters have really resigned to the fact that yeah, the Bills are going to be a playoff team, and like you said it best in a space recently with like a Miami fans like, oh, what if you lose to us week 3, or and even like Steve said, New England's another going to be a tougher. New England's going to be tough this year in general. They're going to be much more improved. Those games they always play us tight at least once a year anyway. Uh, so Teen is calling 14-3. 13-4 for me is about right, but again, I got to really see how things look a little bit as the season gets closer. But that's if you wanted to say, here's my prediction on June 18th. I would say 13-4. We have a couple sneaky games on the road that are tougher than people think. Like you said, Houston. I think Pittsburgh is a little bit tougher than people think. I think Atlanta Monday night is a little bit of an interesting game too. Those kind of games could be trap games, right? You got to watch those games. They're out of conference. Atlanta's got some juice now with some of the draft picks they made on defense, some of the moves they made, right? So it'll be interesting to see how and the Bills are a hunted team now, right? When the Bills come to town in a place like Atlanta, those fans are fired up. Josh Allen's coming to
Right.
town. We're not we're one of the powers now in football. So we're going to get their best shots. Even Carolina. I mean, Carolina almost took out Kansas City last year at home. They almost took out Philadelphia in Philadelphia last year. I mean, and that's what I mean about the NFL. Like 13-4 is a special year, folks. I mean, 14-3 would be amazing, but even 13-4, I think if KC didn't get the breaks that they got last year in some of those games, our record would have been enough to get the 1 seed last year, point blank, right? And I'm not taking anything away from KC. They're a great organization, great team, but a couple of those games, with the bad calls and stuff like that, that gave them those 2 extra wins to give them home field. I think in a normal year, we go 13-4. We'll take the 1 seed. What about you, Whittle? Where
Yeah,
are you at right now in terms of your prediction?
I'm kind of where Tina is. 13-4 is like my, I mean, like we should be 13. We should be at least 13-4
Hmm.
with this schedule, but
Hmm.
um 14-3, sure. 15-2, why not? Like I don't think that any of that, if the Bills are healthy, these young guys that we drafted come in and play and and they look the part,
Hmm.
why not?
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is I think the first game may hinge that too. By the way, did you see Lamar Jackson comments about the game last year?
Oh God, yeah.
Recently, he's still stinging. But I like that from as a fan of the game. I like to hear that he's feeling that. If I were a Raven fan, I would like that because that tells me he's carrying it and he wants to avenge it, right? I want that from my franchise quarterback, right? But if we beat them the first week, Whittle, 8-0 is a distinct possibility going into the KC game. There is a real shot.
Right.
And I usually don't throw that around with you. I'm more of a cautious guy, but and of course there's going to be some tricky games. Division games like Jets, New England, they're always a little. You never know, right? But it is a real. It's going to be if we win that first game. I think the sky's the limit for the rest of the year. But I'm not sure if we're going to win that first game. To be truthful, that's going to be a tough spot against a stacked Raven roster that is really looking for vengeance. And it is September, and I don't not sure if we're gonna see the best version of the Bills in September in certain respects. We're
Right.
gonna see a lot of our younger guys. So I'm not gonna say be a sky's falling guy if we lose to Baltimore. We didn't listen, folks, just I'm telling you this right now on June 18th. Don't be that person come September. Look what happened to us last year. You were at that game. We got drilled that game on Sunday night, right? And we all saw what
I was
happened
also
as
at the playoff game.
yes, so you avenged it in the playoffs. So that
Oh
was
yeah.
good. So it's the road games that you've been having. We got to get you some road wins, Whittle. That's the place that right. We got to get you the home games. You're doing good. The road games have been a little dicey in person lately, right?
Yeah.
The Jets game. So we got to work on that going forward. But
I mean,
yeah.
the last road game I went to was the Jets game. We won that one.
Hmm.
So, you know,
Oh yeah, that's right. You did.
gotta give
You
him
did
that.
go to that one.
Yep.
That's right. You've been an extra Monday night since I was there with you. But
Yes,
yep. So
sir.
I like I like this Tina with the hot take and the throwdown. Bookmark it. We're not losing at home. Tina says we're beating the Ravens. I love
At
it.
all this year, we're not losing at all this year at home.
We're
Like
gonna
we're
go
gonna step
perfect
out
eight
there.
now.
Let's step all the way out there. We
With that
going
schedule
9-0 at home
we got
this year.
the Eagles. We got some tough games on our schedule. That's imagine doing that 2 years in a row. 8-0 at home.
I mean, it would be
Uh,
9-0 this time because we got 9 home games this year.
Wow. How about
So
this one, Whittle? How about this for a prediction? Predicting the Bills will get close to 600 points this year. They not break the Broncos record, will get close to break the Bills record and break the Bills record of 525 points. Wow. Yep.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I agree. Like I
Mhm.
think the Bills offensively are better than they were last year. Like, and I don't think that
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
we don't think it's that close. Like I think
Yep.
we are a
Hmm.
lot better. We went 9-0 last year. Why
Why
not?
not?
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Oh,
I'm with it.
yep.
If we go
Absolutely.
9-0 this year, yeah. That's if we go
100%.
9-0 home this year, yeah. Like
Yeah.
book us for.
Fifth.
No, no, I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, don't do it,
Let's leave
Whittle.
it. Let's leave it
Don't.
there. Let's leave it there.
That's
Um,
something I've thought about. To be truthful, I don't think I want to be undefeated because the pressure. I think the pressure would be so great.
are you really worried about pressure with this team now? Like
Yeah.
the veteran
Any
core,
team.
I don't. And
Yeah, but
this
remember
team
New
has been
England.
like, if this was a team that had never been in tough situations or never lost
Mhm.
tough games or had embarrassing loss, sure. But this is not a team that I think will get scared by that moment. Like If there's a chance for the Bills to go 9-0, like, all right, let's say we beat the Ravens week 1 and we get through the Chiefs and we're sitting at what would that be? 9-0?
9-0. Yeah.
Where's the loss? Philly?
Well, Pittsburgh, Houston, those games could be. I think we could trip up one of those. Philly at
But
home.
then
Philly's
again,
really strong. Yeah,
Houston has some issues on that offensive line.
they do.
They've had some issues defensively as well with injuries. So,
Hmm.
I mean, listen,
Pittsburgh's
it's a
always a
lot.
tough place to win.
A lot
You know
goes
that.
into it. It's luck. You got to
Yeah,
catch teams at the right time.
that's true. Yep.
Who knows what, like CJ Stroud's breaking in 2 rookie wide receivers this year.
Hmm. Yeah.
To with Nico Collins, and Nico Collins has been injured pretty much every year as well. So, like, it's if Baltimore and or the Chiefs don't get us, then I'm sorry, that whole oh, you got to play Atlanta, you got to play you know uh Drake
Tampa.
May and these bro. Listen, Sean McDermott's record against rookie quarterbacks 9-4. His record against second-year quarterbacks really good too. I don't have the exact numbers right now, but like his record against first and second-year starters is very,
Hmm.
very good. Michael Penix, second-year starter. But what's the guy's name? Drake May, second-year starter. Um, what's the kid in Carolina? No,
Oh, Bryce
he's
Young.
going into his third. Is he in his
Second
third
year.
year?
Second
He's
year.
in his
He's in his
third.
second. I think it's his second. I thought because he started. He
Nah,
was
he's going to second.
benched.
He's going into his third year.
Oh, he is going.
This is
Wow,
his
they're
third year. This will
fast.
be his third year
Wow.
because last year was year 2 for him.
Hmm.
Yeah, last year was year 2 for him. So he's going into his third year. But I mean, bro, I'm not worried. Like,
Hmm.
I'm not. So Justin Fields, we get Justin Fields twice. You know, we get Justin Fields twice.
Hmm.
Um, Drake May again, second year quarterback. Um, we get Cleveland. So by the time we play Cleveland, I mean, who knows? Well, I mean, Shador might not be starting because I think he just got pulled over for a DUI, so he might be in trouble with that. But I mean, they got
Mm.
Kenny Pickett,
Oh.
Dylan Gabriel, like those are the guys that they're looking at a quarterback. I mean,
Hmm. And Whittle, it has begun on June 18th. Ravens,
oh,
somebody's coming in
I
talking like
saw
they're
that.
gonna win by 30.
I saw it. I chose to ignore it. I mean, it is
I
what it
just
is.
I just
Like I
want to
know,
listen. I'm trying to get the juices going for everybody on the show. That hey,
yeah.
it may be the slow time of year, but it's getting close, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
So
So let me say this. And I appreciate you keeping it real. I appreciate you coming in.
yes, I do too.
Clearly, that's most likely a Ravens fan. Um,
Could be. Or Jets fan in
but bro,
disguise.
I gotta be honest with you. It's week 1, dog. I don't care. Like I don't care. You have a
Yeah.
very tough division. Even if you do win by 30, it doesn't matter because you have a tougher division than we do.
Hmm. Yeah.
So our record is most likely going to be better than yours at the end of the year. So that week
Yep.
1 win
Hmm.
is not even like you said earlier. It's not the best version of the Buffalo Bills that you're going to see, or it
Yep.
shouldn't be.
Hmm.
And on top of that, who cares? Like
Yep.
you guys
I.
beat us up in week 4 last year, and
Yep.
then you came to Buffalo in the playoffs and you went home sad. So
Yep.
I'm not. I'm sorry, Baltimore. I'm not worried about you guys. This is 2 years counting so far. You've had the best team in football from the DVOA perspective. Like
Yep.
according to DVOA, the Baltimore Ravens have been the best team in football for the last 2 years, and this year they're predicted to be the number. They're predicting them to be a top 3 offense and a top 5 defense. So you just signed Jay Alexander. You got Wiggins from last year. Roquan Smith has been a multi-year All Pro. Just Matter BK has been an All Pro. Like what
Eh,
you got
listen,
Kyle
that
Hamilton has been an All Pro multiple times. Mar Marlon Humphreys All Pro last year. Like I don't, bro. Like you have everything. So if you had everything in 2023 and in 2024 you had everything again and you
Mhm.
still lost, why am I worried now? Because you drafted Malachi Starks and signed Jay Alexander. Go back and watch Josh Allen versus the go watch Josh Allen versus the Green Bay Packers in 2022 when Jair was healthy.
Mhm.
Okay,
You know,
see what him and Diggs did to Jair. Come on, bro. I'm not worried, man.
yep. The other thing about the DVOA, Whittle, Baltimore just didn't have the best DVOA in the league last year. It wasn't close. It wasn't
Right,
close.
right,
And
right.
Baltimore had one of the best DVOAs in the history of in like the last 40. I think they went back 40 years. Like Baltimore was up there with some of the greatest teams you've ever seen in terms of DVOA. I mean, they were off the charts. And yet still we sent them with that L in Orchard Park.
How much help
Yeah.
does Lamar
Does
Jackson
Lamar?
need?
Yeah, yep. Only to fail. I like that, Tina.
How much help does he need? Come
Yeah.
on, guys.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how they always say that about Josh, but they don't realize that Lamar is the one getting all the help here? I mean, he's Louise. He gets a lot of help.
Bro,
So,
listen. This is, and I listened today. There was a space. I was listening in and out to a space today, but they were
mhm,
talking about how like Raven fans were complaining about their defense. I'm just listening to them go on and on about how the defense isn't good and all these other things. And I go back to the game when we played them in the playoff game. You know how many times Buffalo forced the Baltimore Ravens to punt in that game? Take a guess.
once?
Zero. Not a
Really?
single punt. We did not force them to punt, not once.
Wow, you're
So
right.
every
Yeah,
time they
thinking
got the
about it.
ball,
Wow.
they either got points
Yeah.
or a turnover. And they
Yeah.
had three of those.
hmm Wow.
We punted three times in that game.
Yeah.
So
Their defense
what
wasn't that bad.
happens?
Their defense absolutely did enough to win that game.
Their
There's
defense
no
was
question.
good. It
Yeah.
was the best defense in football from week 10 until the end of the playoffs. It
Yep.
was the
hmm
best defense in football.
hmm
What happens when the Bills have a good defense, though? Like, not just the defense that Sean McDermott cooks up and it looks great because the numbers are
hmm
good and the offense is putting up points, so teams have to press the issue when they end up turning. No, when they actually have guys that can force teams off the field on third down, what
hmm
happens? What happens then?
Yep.
Confetti happens. But, we'll get to that in another.
Absolutely. Hey,
All right,
it's good to
so
get the juices going again for
yeah,
and I
yeah.
like
Make
this
sure
one,
you come
Tina.
back. Keeping it real. Make sure you come back
Yeah,
after the
come on.
game. Okay.
Yep.
Don't
Thanks for
don't
coming.
just don't just do a drive by. Make sure you come back after the game. Let me introduce you to the script. This is how it goes. Y'all got it. Good game. We're gonna see y'all again. And then that's it. Like
hmm
that's the script. That's what happens. Everybody says they're gonna beat us, and then Kansas City they do be beat. It's
hmm
Kansas City and the Eagles. But everybody else, man, it's just like good game. Y'all got it. We gonna see y'all
hmm
again. That's how it goes. So just remember those three
Yep.
lines, and that's that. Tina
There you go.
Tina is on fire today.
I like
I'm
this
with
top
it,
five
sis.
D. Listen, Tina, you're I know. Let's speak this in the truth, but there's a possibility this could be true right here. And again, it may not show itself week one.
I- If the line pops, yeah, if the defensive line pops,
Yeah.
for sure. Stay healthy and the defensive line pops, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
I want to get into something real quick. So there were two media guys, national commentators on national eh, football personalities that premiered their respective lists. So Chris Sims does a top court, it does a top like whatever list. Oh yeah, for sure. Enough excuses, bro. Like after this, man, after signing Jair, I can't hear any more excuses if the Ravens don't get it done. Like that's it. You can't tell me about Mark Andrews. You can't tell me about the coach. You can't tell me about Zay Flowers. You can't tell me about Brandon Stevens anymore, guys. That's it. Can't tell me about Tyler Linderbaum snapping the ball too high. If the Ravens don't get it done, and I think that I personally think the Ravens have the best roster in football. After this signing of Jair, I think they have the best roster in football, hands down.
Yep, I agree.
Hands down. So yeah, like this is it. You got to get it done. If they don't get it done, we got to have some questions. We got to have some conversations about Lamar at that point. Um, Especially it depends on how they look at how he looks in the playoffs. But so Pete Prisco drops his NFL top 100 players, and um, Chris Sims dropped his quarterback hierarchy or his list or whatever. And we're only going to talk about Chris Sims' top tier, which is the four quarterbacks, and
Hmm.
he put them in order, but he put them all on the same tier. Would you like to guess who's number one?
This is Chris Sims we're talking about. He put Lamar
Yes.
number one.
Yep.
Hmm. I had a feeling.
Lamar's number one. Number two might throw you off though.
Mahomes. It's got to be Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
Now you know who number 3 and 4 are, but do you know the order?
3 and 4. Oh man. Well, 3 and 4. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I would say Mahomes 3, and then probably Burrow 4 at that point.
Burrow 3, Mahomes 4. Yeah.
Oh, I could
Chris Sims'
hear
mentions were on fire.
I could hear some of the Chief fans that are facing, the usual suspects and their reaction to
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes being number 4 on that list.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
so
Oh boy.
yeah, Chris Sims mentioned it about how his mentions were on fire because of his ranking. Um Understood. Like, I mean, like, I understand why people are upset, but at the same time, like, I don't because if you listen to what he's saying going into the 2025 season, these are these are the quarterbacks who are playing the position the best. Lamar is
Hmm.
1, 2 is Josh, 3 is Burrow, 4 is Mahomes. If you look at the last 2 seasons, I mean, how do you disagree with it? Because I think Lamar's been excellent over the last 2 years. I wasn't in love with his 2023 performance. I thought that his numbers lacked a lot to be desired, but in big moments, he definitely did play well in the regular season. Now, you know what his playoff woes have been, but the regular season, he was excellent.
Hmm.
Um, I thought Josh over the last 2 years has been really good as well. Didn't love the turnovers in 2023. I mean, there's context to him, but at the same time, like if it's an interception, it's an interception, whatever. Um, but last year, people say, last year Josh, obviously MVP, had a really good year. People got to stop saying this too. Stop saying that they took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. They didn't. His numbers are down because he sat for the equivalent of 11 quarters. If you go and look at the snap counts, there are 6 weeks in the season. Actually, no.
Hmm.
5 weeks in the season where Josh Allen played less than 90% of the snaps. 5 weeks. Couple of those games, he played like 70% of the snaps. And then one, he played 1%. So his numbers are down because he's in a ball cap. He's wearing one of these. In the fourth quarter. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
so
hard
give
to
that's
boost your
essentially
numbers up.
three more NFL games. So if you give Josh Allen an average of what, 270 a game. I mean, you're talking almost eight something extra, 100 yards passing, right? You're
Right.
probably giving
Right.
him, 6 or 7 more TD passes, probably 10 total touchdowns, and his numbers aren't that far
Yeah.
off
Oh no,
from
it's two.
the group.
It'd be 2 games. It'd be 2.5. Well, basically 2.5,
Oh
almost
yeah,
three
2.5
games.
games. What am I
Yeah,
saying?
four
My
quarters.
math's
Yeah.
a little crooked
Yeah.
right now.
They're
I
all
think
good.
I'm still in hockey mode, Whittle. I'll tell you. I think I'm still. I'm thinking 3 periods here. My goodness, yeah,
Yeah.
I need some sleep. So,
But yeah, so three. So
yeah.
basically, almost 3 games, right? Um,
hmm
and that's another thing. The defense. Years past, we would get off the field on third downs, and then Josh and the offense would get another opportunity. We weren't getting off
hmm
the field on third down. That's another.
Yep.
That's another good point, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Absolute. Good stuff. I
so
mean that.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's
this
not.
year
It's
we
not.
should be better. Go ahead.
I brought up by the way, that Prisco top 100, and just to illustrate to you how valuable Josh Allen is. Do you care? You know how many Buffalo Bills players besides Josh Allen were on his list?
Two, Deion
None.
Dawkins and Christian
Oh,
Benford.
are they on the list?
Oh, yes.
They are.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't see that. Okay. They had two more. Okay. For
Wait,
some
I
reason, I was
think
only seeing Josh.
I don't know why I feel like James Cook should be here.
No, unless I just have the wrong list here. Maybe. Did he do this last year too?
Yeah, he did it last year.
Maybe. Sometimes, you get things queued and it might be from last year too. So I got to triple check. But
I wanna search the page.
oh, yeah. Deion Dawkins is number 97. You
Christian
said
Benford was
Ben
100.
100. And then was Cook on the list? No, he was
I don't
not.
think Cook's
So,
on the list.
nope. Yep.
No, he
So,
can't be,
yeah.
bro. Can't be.
So only
I'm looking
three.
at I'm looking at some of these guys, and it's just like Puka Nakua is 63. So Josh
Mm.
Jacobs is 66.
He's got Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey over Christian Benford at this point in
Bro,
his
a lot of
career.
people think that. A lot of people still think that he's a guy. I don't, but a lot of people
No,
still think he is.
some of it's name recognition. But the one thing is, you look at this list, there's a lot of
Bucky
Ravens on
Irving?
this list,
Talk about it.
right? And
Yeah,
and what does that
a
and what
lot
does
of
that tell
Ravens.
you? Yeah, a lot of Ravens. And again, that's a compliment to the organization. But again, when you're talking about MVP, and remember, MVP Josh Allen. So that right there is what you need to know about why Joshua Patrick Allen was MVP and was not Lamar Jackson. But it's not again, you're right, like you said, not a slight against Lamar Jackson's quarterback play. He's elevated himself to a great quarterback the last couple of years. There's no question about it. It's Josh Allen was that great last year. And I think we're going to get an even better version of Josh this year in terms of the numbers and production. Jair
Yeah.
Alexander's on this list, by the way, Whittle.
Yep. That's another Raven.
Yep. Yeah. So
So
yeah, I think Dawkins is a little bit low, but
he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Listen, I think this is the year you're gonna see multiple Bills making all pro. And provided everybody, provided these guys stay healthy, I think Dion's going to be an All Pro. I think Dion's a first team All Pro. I think Spencer Brown, nah, I don't know if he makes it. Christian Benford for sure, All Pro.
yeah.
Josh Allen
You know how many
as
Eagles?
well,
You know how many
All
Philadelphia
Pro.
Eagles are on this list, Whittle?
Probably like 8 or 9.
I can't hear you, Whittle. You're muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
I can't hear you right now. Maybe it's
Well, we're
me.
having technical.
Let me check
You
something
got
on
me
my
now?
end here.
Okay, we're having technical difficulties, guys. We apologize. This is like a Newark International Airport connection right now. Wait, what is that?
I think we're back now.
You-
There we go. We're back.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
I
I can hear you
figured it
much
out.
better. Can you hear me?
Yep, that's better. Yeah, I don't know
All
what's
right.
going on
Okay.
tonight. I'm telling you, what some weird stuff happening out here. So anyway, we're back. So yeah, I believe the Eagles have 10 on the list. Two more than the Ravens. Wow. I mean, and think about it, they lost players too. So yeah, they may still have the best roster in the league when I really think about it. Like that's a good argument for a space right there with the Eagles or the Ravens. Who has the best NFL roster right now?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, yeah, the Eagles probably do. I think the Eagles are a
Yep.
lot better. Yeah, yeah, the Eagles do. Yeah.
So 18 of the top 100 players are from two teams. That's what we're up against, folks. That's the thing. I mean, what the Bills are trying to accomplish is it's not going to be easy. And we got both those teams on our schedules here, so it'll be interesting to see how we match up with those two powers on our schedule. Those are the two hardest games, in my opinion, on our schedule all year by a good margin. So
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, Houston on the road, tough game. The
mhm.
Buccaneers in Buffalo, tough game. Very tough. The
Yes.
Buccaneers are very, 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 very good. If they're healthy, that's a tough, tough game. That's a tough game. They're
Hmm.
loaded on both sides of the football. They're loaded. Um, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's what I got. The Bills have the best 30 through
But
53. Yeah,
that's the thing.
you know what? You're
If you made a
probably right.
hundred, if you made 101 through 200 list, I think the Bills are littering that list. I think they're all over it. So that's how the Bills are built.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna see, and maybe some of these draft picks that we get, maybe a couple of these guys pop into the top 100 in a couple of years, but we'll have to see how it goes. So we have a lot of guys on the cusp of top 100. I firmly believe that too. So
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
all right.
I think that's about it for
Yeah,
tonight.
that's all we had for tonight. Next week, we'll put a bow on the month of June. We'll start, pivoting into the off season, a little bit more into talk about more positions and talk about just the roster in general, see what the Bills, if they do anything this week. I hope the charity event is great this weekend, Whittle. Have a safe trip up to Western New York. And I just want to thank everyone in our chat. You guys are amazing as always. Thank you to all of you. It's fantastic. We can't do it without you. You make it so much better. And then, like I said, in early July, we'll have that week. I'll be in New Jersey, floating around in your neck of the woods. So, and I love how
Yes,
Tina calls
sir.
us the young fellas. I mean, she earns points every day with that. So I appreciate it. And then after that, once we get back, man, it's going to be razor close to training camp. So can't wait. So get through these next few weeks, everyone. And that's all I had for tonight.
Real quick, my daughter graduates high school on Friday, so big
Hey.
shout out to my baby.
Ah,
Getting ready to go off to college, and you
oh,
know,
that's great, Whittle.
so
Great
yeah,
accomplishment. Enjoy
yeah,
it. Congratulations.
yeah,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you, appreciate it. So
Absolutely.
pray for me, guys. I don't want to cry
Yeah.
too much, but you know,
Oh, no, man, it's okay. You earned it. You earned it, Whittle. Just remember that. See? Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Those are the moments you got to treasure, Whittle, for
yeah,
sure.
for
Because it
sure,
goes,
for sure.
as you know more than I, it goes fast, right? So,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
yeah.
I
Yep. And
remember, I remember bathing her in the sink, man.
yeah, it was like 5 minutes
So
ago, I bet, right? It just goes
right,
so quick.
right,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, man.
So yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff. Enjoy, Whittle.
All right, man. Take it
Have
easy,
a have
everybody
a
out there. Appreciate y'all as always, and
go Bills.
go Bills.